So once you have successfully completed the online training, you will be given a website address, a username, and a login to actually get onto the NOCD site that you will be using to make your judgments about the items. This is what the site looks like. When you go there, you will have the option to review a written assessment and a performance assessment. You will need to do both. Let's look at the written assessment now, and later on in the training we'll look at the performance assessment. I'm going to click on Review a Written Assessment, and remember the written is the same as the multiple choice. It consists of the 150 to 200 multiple choice. You will be given a user code and also a case-sensitive secure password. It will not show on the screen, so just be very careful when you're entering it. I'm going to enter mine now. And you will also need to type in your last name and retype for verification. With that in, I'm going to click on Login. First thing you will see is a confidentiality agreement. Please read this over carefully. If you scroll down, you have the option to print it out. I would strongly advise everyone to hit the print button. It will kick out a printed copy for you. Basically, what you're agreeing to is to not disclose anything you are seeing in this site, and that is because these are active, live test questions. So students in CTE programs will actually be taking these questions on the test. I'm going to click I agree and go on to next. Now I'm in the actual multiple choice portion of the Accounting Basic test. I am not an accountant, so we're just going to be guessing with some of these. Because I've already logged in, it already has my name and my email. You will need to complete your Social Security number. That is used to issue you a paycheck from Penn State Greater Allegheny. So you will need to fill in the rest of this information. I'm going to click Next. Here is my first question. So just like we did earlier in the training where we walked through some sample questions, these are actually live questions. I've been in this site before doing other trainings, so it's interesting that this comes up with question number 11, not the first one. That's because I've been in this site before. But let's go back to the beginning question. And you notice at the bottom, you see the buttons Previous to go to the previous question, Next to go to the next one, Summary, we'll talk about that in a minute, and then Come Back Later. This button is a saver, basically. If you get an emergency call while you're online doing your reviews and you must take that call, if you click Come Back Later, it will save the spot where you are, and when you re-log in, it will come right back up. I'm just going to go back Previous to get to the first question. So here we are, question number 1. Juan opened a business and invested $2,500 in cash and a computer worth $2,500. These investments will increase. Just like we said in the training, you don't need to know the correct answer is already identified for you, and it's in bold right here. It's B. So now, thinking with the mindset of that minimally competent job candidate who is on their first day of the job, being able to perform the duties in a safe and effective manner with appropriate amount of first day employee supervision, that student, how many and which of these options would that student be able to identify as incorrect? I'm just going to say I think they would know that it's an asset and not a liability, so I would click C and D. Again, here's your option for no distractors eliminated if you felt that they wouldn't be able to eliminate any. Then I'm going to go on to the next item. Once you're on the second item, you see the previous button, obviously, the next, summary, and come back later. I'm just going to click through a couple of these so we see what the process looks like. You, of course, will pause and actually read the items, and the items are going to be in your content area, so they will make sense to you. Once I am done, obviously I'm not done, but once I am, click a couple of these. I'm going to go to summary, and you can hit the summary button at any point. When you click summary, it's going to show you every single question on the test just by number. This test happens to have 194 questions. There are 186 incomplete, and you can tell by the symbol beside each item number. If I scroll up, you'll see the key. A plus sign means I've completed it. Question mark means I have not yet completed it. At this point, you can return to the incomplete items using this button below the chart. Come back later, return to the test, and please do not submit your review. If you submit the review now, as it says here, warning, you'll not be allowed to return to this assessment. You still have a lot of work to do to make ratings, to review 186 more questions. If you submit now, you will get it incomplete because the task was not completed. Every single question must be rated. I am going to return to my incomplete items, do a few more. And let's end this demonstration. It's going to ask me, am I sure I want to log out? It will save everything I've done to that point, and when I come back, it will bring me right to the question that I had to run out on. And that's how it's done. Next, we're going to move on to talking about the cut score establishment process for the performance assessment.